Kayfabe Avenue.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Yeet.
ladies and gentlemen, the faces, casual wrestling fans, and all you smart marks. I'm Richie Moon.
I'm Kayfabe AJ. One
Oh,
word.
kayfabe focus.
And
Four
this is
letters.
Kayfabe Avenue version. You know what I
Yeet.
mean? Yeah, yada me, all gas, no brakes.
Yada I
Yada me.
mean. But we're back. It's Kayfabe Ave. It's been a while.
Yes.
But we coming back with a 6 month recap. We're gonna go back to the Royal Rumble time. We're gonna kind of touch on a few things that's happened in the last 6 months. A lot of developments for WWE as a company.
Yeah.
Do you want to just start there?
Yeah.
WWE as a company.
Yeah.
So, obviously with this TKO takeover, we left off last WrestleMania 40 with the Triple H era. So this whole year's full-fledged Triple H. So now that we're done praising him from WrestleMania 40, we're now criticizing the fuck out of Triple H. I think that that's like the internet like go-to thing to do right now.
I mean, some of it is maybe over. Some people being overzealous. Some of it is warranted. Some things, as we'll get into, may have been out of his control. But yeah,
Out of his
let's
control.
start the Royal Rumble. Let's start the
Yeah.
Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble was a
So
good sport.
the big thing coming out the Royal Rumble, Jay Uso, last
Oh,
Uh-huh.
last person standing with John Cena in the ring,
Yeah,
eliminates John Cena from the Royal Rumble to shockingly get his opportunity to main event.
yeah,
And
oh,
big
yeah.
big
oh,
hand signals on those, a big asterisk on the main event because I think this year they finally redefined what main event means.
Yeah.
Even though you win the main event spot at the Royal Rumble, your place in the card can be changed. So it's no longer first match, last match. It depends on supposedly
There's
this year, according to Triple H, it depends on the popularity of the stars, what
yeah.
stories are being driven the most, what's resonating most with the fans.
Man, there's multi main events, there's co-main events. Some people looking at, some people put as much stock on the opener as the main event sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Because it is really important how you open up the show and how you close it. I I was very surprised. I think all of us were surprised to see Jay Uso, yay, win the championship, yay. But I think that the build, excuse me, not the Royal Rumble, to win the Royal Rumble, but I think the build was just man, that was a long build. And that's not Jay Uso's fault. That's not Gunther's fault. But that was a 10-week build from Royal Rumble all the way to WrestleMania. And I remember a lot of weeks we were just like, man, this is like
Oh, I
week
thought you
eight.
was talking about the build as far as Jay Uso getting to the World
Oh,
Championship
oh
opportunity
no. I
because
think that was amazing.
that in itself was
Oh,
about a 2-3 year story from the moment Jay Uso went against Roman Reigns, became main event Jay Uso. It was
yeah,
all leading to this Royal Rumble moment, and
yeah,
eventually, like you mentioned, the eventual world title win.
yeah,
Um, I think the entire build to that moment of him winning the Rumble was perfect because we got behind Jey Uso naturally. We always liked them as a tag team, but for him to stand out
yeah.
and a lot of the big criticisms of Jey Uso right now is currently, his move set, he doesn't have a lot to give in the ring. Some people straight up calling him a trash wrestler or saying he can't wrestle, which is
Man,
just not
yikes.
the fucking case.
Nah,
Um,
he can definitely tell a story. Him and Gunther had a good match at WrestleMania.
yeah,
It's
yeah, Gunther was the champion leading into Mania.
uh,
The second winner for the Royal Rumble, Charlotte. Charlotte choosing Tiffany
Ooh,
at
remember that?
So,
They got hot.
so I think that we'll touch back on that, but to cap off the Gunther Jey Uso championship situation,
Mhm.
people questioning Jey Uso as far as his in-ring. Jey Uso's not the person who's gonna give you the super technical wrestling. He's not gonna give you the super
So the game.
high-flying spots. He's all story. So
Yeah.
if you didn't enjoy his rise and enjoy the in-between moments, then this probably his reign probably isn't for you. His run probably wasn't for you.
yeah.
But he's firing on all cylinders. You one thing you can't take away is the fact that in every single arena from the top of this year to right now, everybody screaming yeet, got everybody on their feet in every city, the most reactions, the most merch sales, um, you name it, Jey Uso's hitting all those metrics. So he deserved the Royal Rumble win. It was big that it was against John Cena. Um, and
The criticism say, so, a lot of people saying that, they're saying the move set and all that stuff. But I mean, he did have a short title run. He just recently he did have a short title run, but I mean, it was effective. They showed you that they can take somebody, they can build them up. They gave him the moniker main event Jey Uso, and he did actually become main event Jey Uso. It became World Heavyweight Championship. And a lot of times people's second and third one is always better than their first one. So maybe this first one wasn't the best, but I think Jey Uso, as long as he's still selling that merch, he can tell those stories in the ring. He can go. He'll probably be world heavyweight champion again in the future.
yeah.
Well,
So
well, well,
we'll get to
first thing I want to say is,
Yeah.
and all of that. Yeah. And I feel like his build was very, very built up, yet I feel like it was lacking in some places. I'm not sure if it was probably his acting skills or anything, or maybe he wasn't too hype or something. But I feel like something was kind of off. And then like during the when he won the Royal Rumble, I felt like that's when should have turned heel and just straight attacked them and everything. Just to really put him over as like the top baby face now that Cena's gone. Take the top baby face from turn him heel and have him, basically give Jey Uso that rub to be
so
the
you would
top.
have had Cena turn on Jey Uso.
Yeah, of course. Just do it right then and there. Let let the let everybody be known that that's how we started in 2025. We got heel Cena.
Yeah. Seeing how everything turned out, I don't. I wish that actually would have happened for real, for real.
I
But
think not to cut you off.
um,
I think we got to go back to what actually Rich you said earlier. That lacking was the 10-week build. That
hard,
space
hard,
between
hard.
not only that, they were traveling to different countries in this run. The first thing they had a WrestleMania World Tour pretty much. They were touching different countries in this run. They didn't space it properly. The high moment for me was Gunther getting him in the ring, handcuffing him to the rope, beating the crap out of Jimmy Uso,
Mhm.
bloodying him up. That was all great, but then how they follow that up? The very next week, this guy's out here still saying the same yeet, not really putting the passion that we needed. If they would have not had such a long build and they would have led, if that would have been
It
the
was too much
cap off
filler.
to Mania,
It was too much filler. It was too much filler
like
and not enough killer. You know what I'm saying?
exactly,
So
exactly.
if it was a short amount of time, they could have put all that. It could have been all killer, no filler. It would have just zoo, but it just kind of went then
If they would have
plateaued. Then it kind of
eliminated
went.
that week in between Jimmy and Jimmy getting beat up and that the promo that he came out serious was telling the crowd no yeets. If they
Yeah.
would have deleted the week after that, and that would have been the cap off to the lead into Mania. Perfect.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the women's winner of the Royal Rumble, man. Charlotte Flair. Oh man, Charlotte Flair, man, she's had a little rough. Let's she's had a little rough. But I think now her storyline is starting to pay off. But let's talk about when she won the Royal Rumble. Man, uninspired what an uninspired choice.
The problem with Charlotte is the fact that you have to be a little bit self-aware. You've been a heel your entire run. You're already a 14-time world champion.
And you got
You've
years
already
left.
won a Rumble. You've
Yeah.
already main evented multiple WrestleManias.
But we can't blame her for that.
You
It's
can't,
creative. It's
it,
creative.
it, it is creative, but you also have to be self-aware. And then when you're in a position like Charlotte Flair, you're not telling me Roman Reigns is gonna come in and say, you know what, let's rehash the big dog. Let's rehash the big dog. I'm behind that. Let's rehash that over and over and over. No. He put input. I'm shut Vince down and said, I'm doing it my way this time.
Right.
Vince
Yeah.
was still there.
Yeah.
Became the
Uh,
tribal chief. You have to speak up for yourself. It's the CM Punk thing. Why is CM Punk so great as far as the way the fans view him, his promo work, the believability, as far as the passion in the ring and everything? Because you know CM Punk is he's shooting half the time.
mhm.
I will walk into the boss's face and tell him exactly what I think. Yes, CM Punk is gonna do that. Charlotte has that same power. So you have to be self-aware and realize if I want the fans behind me, even in a way that because they're not booing because we love to boo her as a heel. They're booing because it's go away heat.
Yeah, let's go
We
away heat
we don't even
with
want you to
Charlotte.
perform heat. Me
Right.
personally, I love Charlotte. That's not how I feel. But that's the general consensus of a lot of fans. Just
It,
go the fuck away. You've done too much.
yeah, it just feels like overbearing nepotism that's
They have to
unnecessary.
put her in the Cena position. You
Yeah.
lose, you lose, you lose. You finally win your way back. And you know what? Maybe she needs a switch from heel to face. You
That's what
haven't done
they're
it.
that's what they're trying to do now. But in that build when she first won, man, her and Tiffany Stratton, that her winning was uninspired. You know, Tiffany being a champion, it was just we thought that Charlotte would just kind of come in there and roll over Tiffany, but that promo
She
battle
did
that
at
they had
first.
on
She
SmackDown,
definitely did at first.
yeah,
Tiffy was looking real bad the first couple of weeks. It took
Really
that
rough.
that shoot
yeah,
that
it was
she
that
did on
shoot.
Charlotte, mentioning ex-husbands, the multiple divorces, and her being old, lonely, and all this.
I
You
mean,
know,
she needed that.
I think
Tiffany needed that.
you know who lost in that situation?
Charlotte.
Nope.
True.
Fucking Kaiser.
How did he lose?
Where has he been since that comment?
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah.
And catering.
Kaiser has not been on,
Enjoy. He's been enjoying that catering.
and unless he's injured since that comment, Kaiser has not been on television.
That's a good point. Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. He hasn't really been seen much.
She basically said Charlotte said to Tiffy that Kaiser's in her DMs as a rebuttal to the divorce shots or whatever.
Yeah,
Because who I think she was on Sherry Shepherd or somebody like this,
yeah.
and she was telling her story about her recent divorce with Andrade and everything going on in her life, and
Hmm.
was crying on TV. So Tiffy used it. It was the same day. Tiffy
Yeah,
used
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So that shit got real heated. It was the big drama.
Right.
Um,
That made that
which
match really exciting. That
it
made the match
did,
really exciting.
and I don't know if it was
I know.
intentional or not. Like Charlotte got her receipt, but Tiffy came out with a black eye and chipped teeth.
Nah, remember they thought it was Chip Teeth, but nah, she didn't end up with that. That was makeup.
I don't know. That shit looked like straight chipped teeth that
Nah, nah,
night,
I know what you're talking about. I remember exactly
and
what
she
you're
was
talking about.
bleeding. So
That
either
was makeup
way,
too.
the
Hmm.
black eyes and all this, you can't fake that shit.
Yeah, no, that made that match really worthwhile and exciting, and I'm glad that Tiffy won. And, you know, now Just kind of giving a comparison to where she started to where she's at now in the halfway mark of the year. Charlotte is kind of going on that path, like where she's like losing. Well, it's funny, she's not even really losing. She'll be in like three-way matches and four-way matches, the other person gets pinned and the other person gets beat. So she's still losing, but she's not really losing. But it seems like they're taking her on that path where she's gonna
She needs the
lose,
long journey. She needs the
lose,
long journey.
and then come
But
on.
turned out to be a good match at Mania. And then to cap off the Rumble situation, those are the really big things out the Rumble. Um, at the end of the Rumble post show, I think I'm gonna straight up say it. I said it in a previous podcast.
Mm.
That's where John Cena actually turned heel.
Um,
Inserted himself into the Elimination Chamber.
yeah, yeah.
Straight up used his power. Um,
We seen
Straight
that.
said it. I
Yeah,
earned
we
it.
seen
I'm a
that.
veteran.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
That serious demeanor that he has now, that's the first time that showed up. When that yeah, like you said, that press conference, and he was like, yeah, it's best for business. I'm showing up, elimination chamber. Just like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, yeah, sure, whatever. There's nothing wrong here. There's nothing wrong here. But
Yeah.
yeah,
So, um, yeah, Cena inserts himself into the Elimination Chamber after losing the Royal Rumble to Jey Uso, um, which should have kind of hinted to people that they were leading towards the heel turn.
Yeah,
They do a lot of subtle things like that.
I
And
will
which
give
is
it
the
to that.
one great thing about this era so far about Triple H's era is the little breadcrumbs. People are over analyzing everything at this point on the show, which is a good thing and can be a bad thing when people do it too fucking
Reaching,
much.
reaching.
Yeah, super reach and then they get pissed off.
conspiracy theories.
Yeah, but no, I was gonna veg you back on that. Yeah, yeah, definitely. That's one good thing that Triple H does. He leaves those breadcrumbs and plants those seeds. For better or for worse, sometimes they take a really long time to play out because Grayson Waller and freaking what's his other name? Grayson Waller and freaking
Austin Theory.
and Austin Theory have been breaking up for
That
like
breakup
years.
has been going on for a year and a half,
They've been breaking up for
almost
so
two.
long. Just
They've
like
been
get
breaking up since the moment they got together. And that's a fact.
so
The moment it happens, though, I think everybody's gonna be happy and relieved that Austin Theory gets his one up on fucking
right.
Waller. Because how many
See,
times can you stab your friend in the back
you think
without?
Austin Theory is tired of that Grayson Waller rub?
He should be by now.
At this
Shit.
point, right?
He
At
should
this
be.
point. Right. At this point, it should be.
So let's skip over to the elimination chamber.
Oh.
Obviously, the big thing coming out was the chamber win, how Cena win.
Mhm.
Um, kudos to them for the allusion to the Money in the Bank match and the history of between Cena and CM Punk.
Yeah.
That they were the last two in the chamber. Seth Rollins ends up screwing CM Punk, um, curb stomping him
Yep.
into the chamber floor, and Cena straight up took advantage. We still did,
Clue
as a
number two.
viewer, we still didn't, yeah, clue number two, and we still
Right.
didn't pick up on that. Usually Cena
Right.
would have been like, "Oh my God," like let him get
Yeah.
up or something. Um, Cody comes out,
hmm They
then
have like that. They have like that.
they have
That
that.
grand that baby face shaking hands.
Well, you
We're
know
gonna
what?
go.
Actually, the lead up to the chamber.
Hold on. Morgan's match just got stopped due to injury.
Who?
Oh
The
no! Did
Morgan's
she
match
get
got
injured?
stopped.
I'm not at that point. I rewinded wrong.
Ouchies! Did she actually get injured?
They
Ouch!
stopped the match. I don't know.
Ah, shenanigans.
That's
Oh
why.
no, it looked like she might have got injured.
All
Ooh.
right. Well, we'll give an update on the next podcast on that situation. Hopefully,
Right,
she's good.
because people wrestling is dangerous, okay? It is dangerous, okay? It is
Yeah.
listen.
If
So
wrestling is fake,
so
explain
the
that.
whole lead up to the elimination chamber, we had the inclusion of The Rock. And The Rock has been one of the biggest
Letdowns.
I don't want to say that because the
It
whole
is.
lead in, the swerve, we could blame Cody for this in reality. Cody went into work for himself at last year's Royal Rumble. That's a fact. That's a fact. Do the face all you want. That's a fact. He went into work for himself, pointed at Roman Reigns, which messed up the Rock versus you're so distracting right now. Like I
Did
can't.
he really? Did he really?
100%.
Really?
100%. That wasn't the plan.
The Rock is an agent of chaos. Leading up to WrestleMania 39, that was amazing. Oh my God. It was
It
one of
was
the,
it was amazing.
it was
Gave us an
amazing.
amazing WrestleMania 40. His inclusion in this was not needed at all. Supposedly, he gets a phone call from Ari Emanuel, the owner of TKO. We're not doing enough sales for the chamber. Blah 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 blah. We need you. Supposedly, that's the Rock story.
But you know why? Because you didn't turn Cena heel at Royal Rumble and have him to attack main event. I mean, opening match Jey Uso.
Yeah.
That's fact.
Oh.
He wasn't quite main eventing at that point. But they
Oh.
included him supposedly for ticket sales, but yet you're selling out everywhere.
Oh.
You're gladly telling us about how you're breaking records at literally every single event, but you needed a boost in sales. Don't disrespect our intelligence by saying some stupid shit like that. When
Those are
if you
my
can't sell, is not because of lack of fan excitement or wanting to be there. You motherfuckers inflated the prices like crazy. It's
Like
now
tenfold.
that you seeing the prices go down.
Yeah.
SummerSlam is actually manageable for both nights. But
Right.
you know,
Little sidebar. Yeah, that's
a
crazy.
few weeks before
Prices.
WrestleMania 41, checking and deciding whether I wanted to go, the tickets was actually doable for both nights.
They
But
got a lot of
everything
backlash.
else before that, woo,
They got a lot of backlash. A lot of people were giving WWE a lot of backlash, saying like,
people
dude,
bringing their kids, bringing their families to these events. And you think we want to spend 300 for some fucking nosebleeds per person?
kind of kind of
I'm
crazy.
good, bro. I'm
But
good.
go but my bad. Segueing back into the chamber. I mean, man, it was just one of those situations where it was a really cool moment. If you just look at that moment for what it is,
I saw through
Cena
that
turning
shit.
heel, Rock being there on Cody, right there at that moment during that time, that seemed like the right thing to do at that moment in that moment. Everything else that happened after
Well,
that,
the
wow.
lead up, like we got to finish the lead up.
Yeah, let's go.
We can't just X that out. The
Okay.
Rock comes back because of the sales.
Mm-hmm.
And his motive on coming back is trying to get Cody Rhodes to sell his soul. That's what led to Cody Rhodes coming out. That's what led to The Rock coming out after the Chamber. That's what led to the John Cena interaction, right?
Yeah, that was an
Cody
interesting motive.
Cody decides not to sell his soul, says "fuck you, Rock" on the pay-per-view. Very
Uh-huh.
rare for Cody.
Yeah.
Like you said, cool moments leading up to everything.
Mm-hmm.
Travis
Mhm.
Scott, for some fucking reason, decides to show up with The Rock.
That's Cactus Jack.
Let's not leave out Travis Scott.
That's
Cannot leave
Cactus
out.
Jack.
You know what? I ain't gonna hold you. I tried to like really leave him out because I just didn't. It
No,
because it
Because
makes me.
that
Because
was the most stupidest shit I don't ever seen them do with no follow-up.
all right.
And if there is follow-up for Travis Scott, it's taking way too fucking long. We don't care anymore. You have go away heat before you arrive again.
yeah.
Literally, that's what happened. He comes in, they end up beating up after Cena turns on Cody. They end up beating him up altogether. Travis Scott busts Cody's
He busts
eye
his
open,
eardrum. He busts his eardrum and his
eardrum,
eye.
something.
Yeah. Yeah, being
really injured,
black guy. Yeah.
really injured. This guy's supposedly training with Booker T, supposed to have the match at Mania 41 to give us at least a fucking comeuppance on this dumbass story they started, and then he pulls out.
Yeah,
We get um
because he's trash.
we get the Logan Paul in his
Tritty.
place
Yeah, he's Tritty.
months down the line.
It's because he's Tritty. It's trash. It's mediocre.
So now The Rock's purpose for wanting Cody Soul never fully explained. He
Because he's
explains
been
it
the
on
Undertaker.
he explains that shit off TV in the Pat McAfee show.
Yeah.
And it was a half-ass explanation, leading to all these rumors of Triple H and fallout between them two, and they're trying to push Triple H out, and so there's a lot of shit, a lot of fallout from Rock's involvement, from interfering in storylines. Never
Wasn't
got Rock skips Mania after this.
and everybody was expecting him to be there because of what happened at the Elimination Chamber. And then, his
If they're following the MCU trend and WrestleMania 40 was truly Endgame, then it makes sense that WrestleMania 41 was such a fucking downfall. This was phase 4, bro. This was what the fuck is going on now?
well, with John Cena attempting to, in his heel turn, attempting to ruin wrestling, man, that just that
If he's gonna take blame for everything that's going wrong in wrestling right now, and that's the gimmick, then fuck, he's doing a good job.
that match was just not it. I think there's a difference between, he said he's going to ruin wrestling. That just was not just a good match.
Cody versus Cena. We get no Rock, but we got Travis Scott.
We got Travis Scott. He came out there. He gets
We got
caught.
Travis Scott though.
It's lit.
Yeah, it's lit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
Right now, trending around that time,
Mhm.
they're saying WrestleMania 41 was the worst WrestleMania of all time.
Oh,
I
I'm
don't know
I
not
don't
about
gonna.
that.
agree.
No,
I don't agree.
no,
I don't know about that.
But
no.
as far as the letdown
From what it could
and
have been.
the way the fans, which is a problem, they book it in their minds first.
True.
But
I don't think we're. I don't think. I don't
it
think us as fans were wrong to think that The Rock would be there. I don't think we were wrong for that. Like, I mean, look
yeah,
at
I
this
don't think we
story.
were wrong for that either.
We just explained the whole buildup. And for him not to be there, it was just like, huh? And then it's like, and then Travis Scott, it's like, you were just better off not bringing anybody out. Like,
But what's even worse, bro, 6 months later, which is the point of the show, the recap of this,
yeah.
he still hasn't shown up for
And
John Cena.
he probably won't. He probably
Yeah,
won't.
because he interviewed outside of WWE once again and explained why the
Yeah.
storyline doesn't need The Rock. The
Yeah.
final boss is in the background.
Right. And it's just
Cena's
like,
doing his thing. I don't want to interfere with Cena's final run.
and let's not forget when The Rock, like, I can't. When Raw went to Netflix, my bad. My bad. We forgot to mention that. January. That's definitely a big thing. Them going to Netflix. It kind of started going downhill from there, really, because remember when he came back and like he was just like the half heel, half face, and it was just like we left off with the final boss, this fucking big being the final boss, and then he comes back on the debut of Netflix, and it's just like he's shouting out Cody in the
Drinking
crowd.
tequila with the dude.
He's drinking tequila with the dude, and it's just like,
That was before the Sell Your Soul shit, because he was trying to be buddy buddy before the Sell Your Soul promo.
yeah,
And he
yeah.
explained why they were buddy buddy in the Sell Your Soul promo. But that shit was flat. That shit was flat as hell. All he needed to do was not say, "Oh, sell your soul. I want your soul." Da, 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 da. All he had to say, "Be my corporate champion."
You're our corporate champion.
Like I was Vince's corporate champion, you're mine.
Which is the corporate, yeah, yeah. That would have been much better.
That's all you needed.
Honestly, I think I don't even think I don't necessarily think the final boss really needed to be there. If Cena would have taken the route with his heel turn of like showing up in a suit, like really, really actually changing his look because if you weren't watching wrestling, I mean, if you listen to his promos, you can tell. But if you weren't watching wrestling before and then you watch wrestling now and you just cut on the TV screen, you've seen Cena. You know what I'm saying from like back in the day, whatever.
Same.
You be like, oh, same old shit. He was champion 10 years ago. All right, champion now.
Let let's get into Cena and the whole heel turn.
To quote Deadpool Prime, the multiverse thing, Cena's heel run, it's not great. You know,
It's been done. um, the first thing I will say, they started comparing it to Hogan. Go check back. I called
yes.
that shit. It does not have the impact of Hogan's heel turn. It, in my opinion, you guys probably feel differently, but it does not have the impact of Hogan's heel turn. It's
Mm.
not even comparable for the impact of the business. It does not send shockwaves through the industry. It does not impact other wrestlers. This is strictly Cena's last fucking hurrah. He gets to decide what he wants to do, where he wants to go, who he gets to wrestle, and where his last match is gonna be in. The best thing about this heel turn that I did like, once The Rock got out the fucking way and out the picture, and he and Cena had the actual belt around them again. Of course he stole it thanks to Travis Scott. And he
We're gonna have
finally
to
he finally
explain this one
started
day in history.
shaping. Yeah, that's crazy. The night after after WrestleMania, actually, the Raw after Mania, that he explained it, perfectly what this heel run is gonna be.
Uh,
He put a meter on the Titantron and basically said, "These are the amount of days I'm contracted for, and if you're not keeping count, this is the amount of days I have left." Like half of his days gone already.
right, right, right,
He
right.
did it again a few weeks ago. I
Yeah,
completely forgot about the counter.
right.
He's at like 19 to 17 appearances now.
Yes, he is. He is. He
We're
is. He
talking
is.
about build up, and the best thing he said in this heel run is, and this is the best redeeming quality. Besides this, I'm gonna ruin wrestling because he's straddling the fence on this shit.
Yeah.
In reality, because in the ring he gives himself away. You're a fucking face, bro. You've been in it too long. When the fans chant, sometimes you agree in the ring, and you shouldn't be agreeing in the ring at all. You know what I mean? Um, but he pretty much said, these are the days. Whether it's a house show, whether it's just for me to show up and cut a fucking promo for 2 minutes and leave, that's all you're getting. That's it. Nothing. Took away the grand. He didn't take away the music, but he took away the grand graphics. It just says John Cena. That's it.
And it even took him a couple of weeks to get
It
there.
it it, it did, but he's starting to shape it a little bit better.
Yeah.
He's already had Randy Orton,
He's had he has Randy
Cody.
Orton, Cody Rhodes,
For the
R-Truth.
road.
Well, R-Truth now.
Yeah.
Um, well, he fought R-Truth for Saturday Night Main Event, but
Yeah. He's getting Ron Killings now. He's getting
so
Ron Killings on SmackDown.
that's a whole bigger picture. We'll get to that when we talk about the releases that happen.
Right. Yeah, but,
So,
but we got smart we have a smart wrestling audience. So they've been they're up to date. They know what's going
well,
on.
some people who might not, for those I kind of want to give the full picture of that because it wasn't just Cena's heel turn that affected the a whole R-Truth situation. That was a big
Yeah.
something real big. But the countdown, the things that he's doing now, he's starting to shape it better now that he doesn't have that outside influence. Um
Yeah. And
shouldn't be agreeing with people in the ring. He's back now on CM Punk.
compare and contrast to where his heel run started to where it's now. I think it's good. I think he's definitely they've tailored it. It's good. It's really there. CM Punk and him are cooking. I think CM Punk really cooked Cena on the mic. I don't know if you've seen that last one. Good gosh,
Yeah.
damn did Punk
CM
cook.
Punk is a
Oh,
god on the mic, man.
he
The one thing
really
that I
did.
did like Cena's rebuttal to him was, "I'm gonna make you a hypocrite."
Yep, and he is. He absolutely
You
is.
you are gonna have to come see me in Saudi Arabia, the one place that you talk shit about going to.
I love that. I love it's like I love the because we watch we know the insider baseball. We know what that's about. But for the typical fan, they're not gonna know what that's about. They just know it's John Cena versus CM Punk. But now there's
That's
just
that's
multiple
Cena making sure
layers.
that CM Punk eats some of that
Some of those words.
crow, some of them words that he
Yeah.
spewed in AEW, you know?
I will say this. I know I've been I know I've been more down on Cena's heel turn, but what I've really liked about Cena's heel turn is his justification of it. Like that Raw after WrestleMania, he's like, I'm not gonna change my music. I'm not gonna dress different, even though I want him to. But he justified it like, no, because y'all been dressing like me. I'm dressing like how I dress. This is how I dress. Y'all are copying me. So no, I'm not gonna change. No, I'm not gonna change my music. I'm not gonna change this. I'm not gonna change that because that's me. That's what I've always done. I've always been me. So I don't like it, but his justification of it is awesome. And now, in comparison to how it started to where it is now, I think his heel run is actually really going good. And I give credit to CM Punk, not to take anything away from John Cena, but I think CM Punk has made this. Yes,
He brought the interest back into
right,
Cena's run.
right,
He,
right, right.
he did. Um, so let's jump back real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Let's jump back to WrestleMania 41.
Mm-hmm.
The big acquisition that took place during that weekend, Triple A, the Luchador Wrestling Company from Mexico, was purchased.
Yeah.
Um, they announced a bunch of events that actually transpired last weekend.
Yep.
The Worlds Collide event that had
Woo!
WWE stars facing off luchadors.
And if y'all have not seen that, goodness, you go out your way to see that.
Top notch event, especially the fact that they blended up the WWE stars with the AAA talent, and they didn't do that with having to bastardize what AAA is. The
That's what I like.
look, the feel, the way they wrestle, the
It was a
characters that they promoted,
it was a
it was
AAA
all
show with
AAA.
WWE production.
Sprinkle all around it. So
Yeah.
uh, that was a big news coming out of Mania.
Mm-hmm.
And alluding to the guy on my shirt, the guy who was overlooked
Woo!
that entire fucking weekend.
What a work shoot promo he cut after. What man, listen. If you haven't
Arguably
watched
the
that,
greatest, arguably the greatest promo in the last 6 months, and it wasn't on WWE television.
if you
Not
haven't
only
seen
is
that,
this man cutting promos and interviews that have been replayed and should be revisited, especially with the current state of the storylines, and a lot of people are starting to get overlooked. A
mm-hmm.
lot of people are starting to feel like they're benched.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the things that we were down on before the great rise of the tribal chief and all the storylines being readjusted, we're starting to get back to those same problems. And which is weird because we also have pay-per-view fatigue. There's too many fucking events.
Too much events. I feel like um I, this is crazy to say because WWE is, I love AEW, but WWE is the number one wrestling company in the world by like 1,000 miles, and it's just like so. Why I feel it's blatant counter programming. Why are you going out of your way to counter program AEW when you're already
They're
outselling
kind of
them? And
they're kind of programming so much.
you're
We have Evolution Saturday Night's main event and NXT Great American Bash
for,
on the same day as All In.
Like really intense stuff.
for what?
I broke even.
It's really
Like
it's unnecessary. It's really unnecessary.
And then that goes back to how the fuck do we have this misuse of roster going on? When you have so many events,
Right.
take some of the main guys off of those extra events and
Mhm.
put Karrion Cross. Book Cross. That's it.
Nah, that's a fact. Nah, it definitely
Book the
carried it.
Wyatts. They're back finally
But
on
you do something.
SmackDown. Two consecutive appearances after God knows like 3-4 fucking months. One guy gets injured in the group and 5-6 people go down, including one who's a female in a division that needs more fucking women. to step
Right.
up at least because we
Right.
got a lot of women.
Right.
But it doesn't make sense.
We're getting evolution, though. We're getting evolution.
Finally.
We're getting evolution.
It's a mystery.
How many years has it been? How many years has it? When did we go to
About
evolution?
4.
What was that? 2018?
19.
19. Was it 19?
Been like 6
Gosh,
years.
I feel like shit. Does that feel like a lifetime ago? 2019.
Yeah. Which is hands down to me, as far as my experience,
one of the best shows
one of
ever.
the best shows I've ever been to. The way the crowd, the
And
electricity that Rock talks about was there.
Hold up, AJ. Look at the context because we've been to WrestleManias, we've been to SummerSlams, Survivor Series. Like between all of us, I think Royal Rumble. I think that's the only thing we're missing. We've been to the
only event I'm
missing. We've been to the first AEW Dynamite. We've been to the AEW pay-per-views, Forbidden Doors, Raws at Madison Square Garden. And
First
we're
ever
saying
Dynamite, all in Chicago, all
Evolution.
out Chicago.
I've been to 5 Manias. Evolution is one of the best shows I have ever been to, bar none.
Yeah.
Bar
hopefully
none.
they recapture that spirit of the first Evolution because they really need that.
Do you think they can though? You think they can? I mean, they got the roster, they got the talent, but
Imagine they bring Ronda back.
I never want to see Ronda in the WWE
I don't think Ronda Rousey
ever again.
Ronda Rousey's never come back.
The way she shitted on WWE, the way she shitted on wrestling while shitting on WWE.
But I will say this: she was very specific with her shitting. She did say Triple H, cool dude. She specifically was like, "Yo, Vince."
Well, I'm not talking about her personal shots at people in WWE.
You mean just like wrestling in general?
I don't give a fuck what she says about how she feels about these people. My problem is she said, this shit is fake.
Oh, yeah.
I should be beating up everyone.
Nah, she killed this.
That's her problem. You will never gain my respect because the first rule for anybody, even in the community, even as fans, is respect the business.
Right.
Fuck Vince. Fuck Triple H.
And she knew that shit wasn't fake when Charlotte beat her ass in Survivor Series with that goddamn kendo stick.
Yeah, take that, right?
Shit. She beat her ass down with that kendo stick.
But yeah, we have the pay-per-view event fatigue, to be specific. We have the misuse of characters, even though we have all this TV time and we have all this space on events and cards and rotations and days off finally happening in WWE. There's no excuse for it.
It's not good to say
putting a guy like Cross for a 10 to 15 second promo where he's trying to big up the next person and give us reasons to cheer on the next man instead of him. It doesn't make sense.
Yo, AJ,
not pulling the trigger on Cross doesn't make sense.
I'm not trying to cut you off, but it's so ill what you literally just said because I'm ahead of you in Raw. It like literally just happened like 6 minutes ago.
And I'm paused on Raw when we got this segment. I don't even know what's going on.
It literally just happened 6 minutes ago.
I'm tired of that shit, bro.
It's just like
if this was the case, you should have released him after fucking WrestleMania. Along with the other people that they released.
Because it doesn't make any sense because he's selling like he's doing the things that you need to do to get over. He's cutting the crazy promos. Fuck that. He's selling merch. He's making money. Forget the promos, all that. He's making money, and that's all y'all want at the end of the day. He's making y'all money, and he's still getting like 5 minutes of TV. Not even a match. He's just getting 5 minutes of promo time.
What happened in his last match? Cheers. Everybody was raving about the match. Highlight of the show.
I don't understand why Triple H is not like. Is this like
you released Braun Strowman? I understood that. While he gave us a good feud with Jacob Fatu, he was obviously looking slower.
He did his job though. He did his job.
I respect Braun Strowman, but I understand that. If anything, bring him back on a Legends deal. Minor appearances here and there. Train the big guys.
I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I don't know if you got this part in Raw either. Apologies to spoil it for you, but if Braun Strowman was slowing down, but good God, if you would have seen Goldberg
Oh yeah.
They need to sign. They need to
Yeah,
bring
I
Braun
mean,
back and give him another
I'm
million.
almost there. So, but I already knew that. They already said Goldberg got injured 3 times in training for this.
Man, like
Brother, sit down.
I ain't gonna
Did
hold
we
you.
just release people to get Goldberg back?
It
And
seems
book
like
his fucking son.
who
His
hey,
son
is the sun
versus
coming up?
Dom Mysterio. Book that. I don't want to see his old ass.
Look at Hunter, you coward.
Goldberg in the
Gold
corner.
back.
Goldberg in the corner. Let's see what's his name. Gage Goldberg. Something. Son looks
What a weenie name.
more buff and more bigger every time we fucking see the kid.
Yeah.
We don't want to see you get a concussion on the way to the ring and then nearly kill Gunther.
Nah,
We don't
you
want
know
to see
what?
that.
It's because he just doesn't look good. Like
Yo,
Sting,
bro,
Sting looked good
let's
on his
be
way out.
real.
Sting looked good on
Gunther
his way out.
might chop a pacemaker into this nigga's chest.
Yo, nah, facts. Yo, the way Gunther
Am I
hits
lying?
though. Nah, the way Gunther hits, yo.
Gunther's about to chop a pacemaker in his chest. Why do we want to see our senior citizens collapse in the ring?
Nah, and I'm not even being funny. Like for real.
Put
Like
Ric Flair back in the ring if y'all gonna give us this
nah.
bullshit.
All jokes aside, I'm not the biggest Goldberg fan, but I always say he's always looked good. He's
You know who
always,
wants
even
to
though
see
he's
this
older,
match?
he's still. This time around, yo, he looks old.
You know who wants to see
He
this
looks old.
match?
He looks
Matter of
old.
fact, the crazy
Bret
shit.
Hart.
I'm at the beginning of Gunther's promo, so Goldberg is about to come out.
He looks old.
Let me put it right now.
This is the first time I can say this, and I'm not
I'm
like
gonna put it on to the side.
I'm not a Goldberg hater. I'm not a Goldberg hater, and I can say I'm not really a Goldberg
Goldberg
fan.
was one of those guys that I look up to it and look forward to seeing in the ring, even though he was, finding out as I got older how green he actually was. But I always loved Goldberg.
And I'm a
But
Bret
dude, you
Hart
almost
guy.
killed the Undertaker.
I'm a Bret Hart guy. I'm a super duper Bret Hart guy, and I still don't even. I don't. It is what it is. Wrestling's fucking dangerous. It can happen. It really could happen to anybody. But man, when you're about to see him, like gonna see him like 2 minutes, bro. He looks old. Yeah, I feel uncomfortable him getting in that match. Like it's just look at the way he walks, bro. Like you're gonna see it.
All right, well, so we got the Braun Strowman release.
Mhm.
We got who else? Gigi
During this
Dolan,
during this first release,
Cora Jade.
Tegan, not Tegan Knox.
No, she's been released. A handful of people,
Yes.
but the two biggest names outside of Braun Strowman
Mhm.
coming out of this was Carlito, which we found out after our Truth announces himself on X, Twitter. I still
Yeah.
call that shit Twitter. That he's gonna be released from his contract. They're not renewing his contract. WWE let him go pretty much.
Yeah. That was
And
big.
Carlito said the same thing. Carlito's still released. They bring back our Truth because of fan backlash.
Yes.
Because the fans realize that TKO doesn't have any loyalty to these past veterans and these past legends. He's not Vince McMahon. There's no emotional connection there.
Right. Right.
Which people got to understand the business side of things. So when they released our Truth, was I mad? No. I was understanding. Did I like it? Of course not. I
Right.
love our Truth. Every segment he's in, hilarious. Whether you make him serious when he was with the Miz, smoking on freaking TV, or the 24/7 7-Eleven Intercontinental European South North American whatever the fuck championship.
Wait, hold up. Dance break.
Goldberg's coming out right now. So, whatever position he was in, he was doing a good job.
Yeah.
But hold on.
But it was understandable.
I
You
understood.
understood.
He was already.
Bro, they did the same thing with the UFC.
He's 52.
This is no different. This is no
He's
different when
52,
TKO took
and
over
there is no over 40 championship in the WWE.
That's all. It seems almost all their champions are over
Yo, you've
40.
been calling for that for a minute. Goldberg needs this over 40 championship.
Listen, focus. Your over 40 championship can definitely work in WWE now. Sheesh.
Yo, so what were we saying?
We were
Main
We
topic.
was trying to
we were
put
saying
over the fact that we need an over 40 championship in one of these promotions.
Yo, bro, this
yeah.
man is out of breath just from doing the 2 punches in
He,
the
I'm trying,
face.
I'm trying to tell you, he's getting blown up just getting in the ring.
That was his entrance.
But we were talking about the TKO the TKO takeover and how they're changing things and
So yeah, there's no soul. There's no
right.
attachment to those people in the past.
Mhm.
So on the business side, I understood it completely. As a fan, yeah, man, fuck. Why would you release our truth? Especially when he was just doing things. He was just a major. He should, before the release, we were saying he should be the catalyst for why John Cena turns good again. They did
Yes,
that.
yes.
They did that little story, led to the Saturday main event fight, which kind of gave us what we wanted in that situation. Except Cena went full heel and still destroyed our truth and stood heel. But you released them right after that.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense.
Then they pivot, bring
Pivot.
him back. Surprise return at what was it? It was the Saturday main event, wasn't it?
No.
That was way late for. What was the event after that? Because there's so many.
I know, right? There was not the next pay-per-view they did. I can't even remember. The next pay-per-view they
Money
did.
in the Bank.
Money in the Bank. Yeah, Money in the
Right?
Bank.
So Money in the Bank, which was the last event that just passed, he ends up interfering in the rematch.
Come on.
No, what was it? Yeah, it was a rematch. Cody versus
It was a tag team match. It was a tag match with
right. Jey Uso taking Travis Scott's place. Logan Paul. We got the the tag team match. So Cena, Logan Paul versus Jey Uso, who was still champion, and Cody Rhodes interferes in that match, beats up John Cena, costs him the match. Then Triple H pivots and says, when they asked him the question straight up, "Did you guys release our truth for real?" Oh, enjoy the show.
Enjoy the show.
Our truth son came out on social media. That's cat.
Right.
Stop the cat.
I mean,
you
never
Triple H doesn't see
know.
Our
doesn't
truth
see color.
himself even said it.
Listen,
Me.
Triple H doesn't see color, so why would he?
Why would he see promos?
Forget
Why
it.
would he see
Forget
real
it.
reactions on X?
My bad.
Triple H doesn't see color. People like him.
They need,
Yeah.
if they're gonna be so open with how the business is run, they're gonna be pulling the curtain behind. Can y'all stop insulting our fucking intelligence? Like we don't understand how contracts work.
Yeah.
Like we
That
don't
was
understand how releases work, how we don't, and the fans who are longtime fans. Can you guys shut the fuck up every year around WrestleMania time when people do get released? Like it hasn't happened every year
it's part of the business,
for
bro.
like 20 years. And you know what? This was the lightest release
Nah, you good.
in like 10 years.
I'm
This
still
was the
waiting for
lightest.
people to get released.
I'm still waiting for like half of NXT to be dropped.
Come on.
Not because I don't like them, but because there's so much fucking talent.
It's part of the business. I mean, it's part of the machine.
The TNA partnership now,
AAA.
right? We got the AAA partnership now.
Uh-huh.
TNA's been all over NXT television the past 6 months plus. Even the current champion is Trick Williams.
I'm gonna break it down even further for you. I'm gonna go all the way from the bottom all the way up. NXT, excuse me, Evolve, NXT Level Up that does a live tour. Then you have
LFG.
I mean but that's kind of like that's just kind of like a reality show. Then you get to NXT.
But
then
it's still
that's like tough enough.
It's tough enough.
It basically is tough enough. Shout out to
Because
Dude.
because
Dude just got a
both
title
of
shot. He got a title shot last week. So
both of those winners have been consistently on TV.
yeah, I mean they're good. Honestly, I will say like they really fully like as opposed to like how Tough Enough was, where people like they were still kind of learning. Those two, the guys that won, they were like really almost like fully developed. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you go to NXT and work and stuff like that, but like their characters, their in ring move, their so they were like really really put together really well and then put out there. So shout out to them with that. Yeah, shout out to them. But listen, I'm excited to see Ron Killings back because remember when he got serious with the Miz all those years ago? That was compelling, and it would have kept going if he didn't. Remember he got hit with the drug test. He got suspended for the drug policy. You know what I'm saying? So that character got crossed, but that character got crossed. Looking at your shirt, the character got cut. But when you look back at serious R-Truth or Ron Killings, that character is very compelling, and then you see him now in the work that he's doing.
Yeah,
It's dope.
After the return, he ends up jumping Cena again on Raw. Cuts his hair off, cuts his dreads off. Got a completely different look.
Raw,
Caesar style with like patterns.
Yo, your jaw dropped.
That was just the impact alone of him cutting his dreads was probably the most shocking moment for a lot of people in this year.
I mean,
go ahead. Go ahead. So what was my reaction? When
my man's jaw dropped to the all you do is this guy grabs his dreads, he clips it, right? Yo, his move. Yo, and we're talking like 2 minutes straight.
I don't remember a time where Truth didn't have braids. The last time I saw Truth with no braids, he was in the picture with Tupac. That was the last time I saw Truth with no braids.
That's when he was K-Quick. You know what I'm saying? Ron the Truth Killer.
Yeah, so I want to see how that goes, but so far they're a little confusing too because they keep referring to the Truth and they keep calling him R-Truth. And there's one thing I will give Bully Ray Bubba from the
Busted Open Radio,
Busted Open podcast. He said, "Don't mention Truth anymore. If you're gonna do this Ron Killings thing and they let you go and they bring it into storyline, I don't want to hear R-Truth or the Truth anymore. You're Ron Killings. Make something new that's gonna, shape your career for the next couple years."
It's commentary because you can see it. Like he's done a 180, and he refers to himself as Ron Killings. So commentary has to do a better job with that. Yeah, they gotta stop calling him Truth. They do.
And he's also playing. If you're watching, he's playing a schizophrenic character.
Yes, he is. Yes.
He still has R-Truth inside him.
Mm-hmm.
Ron Killings, his other personality is driving now and keeping R-Truth at bay.
Mm-hmm.
So the evil side is out. Perfect storyline. Let's see them execute the shit now. But don't insult my intelligence that you brought R-Truth back on story. No, the fans lashed out. And if this is why you're not pushing Cross, because the fans are telling you what we fucking want.
Right. You got to pivot.
Come on, bro.
Got to pivot.
Learn where to draw the fucking line. Learn when your audience is about to be lost on you, or you might swerve the fucking audience. Because I'll tell you what, you're not too far. There's a lot of amazing things that's going to stop you from being completely in that spot. But there's not too many barriers stopping you from being 2018 Vince.
Yo, honestly, he's a few. I mean, that's a drastic.
There's about 5 good walls, 5 good barriers preventing him from being completely the Vince run, because there's still a lot of positive stories going on. There's still good things, a lot of spinning plates and possibilities to swerve in the directions the fan want.
I'll say this: WWE, they have the numbers, but as far as like storylines and like just if we're eliminating numbers and we're just talking about pure wrestling, pure storylines. But listen, AEW's on their ass, okay? AEW is on their ass. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like they're shooting from all different directions.
Especially when you're dropping the ball, you don't put Cross in the king of the ring.
Right.
You let Jey Uso take that fucking spot. He just lost last week. He just lost his championship last week. You put him in the Rumble without earning a single motherfucking spot. You're at the back of the line, bro.
Right. There's no reason why
Karrion Kross in that spot, got the fans behind you. Even if Cross loses the tournament, You make him lose to Sami Zayn.
Bro, when's the last time we seen Karrion Kross wrestle?
AJ Styles the night before Mania.
That was months ago.
That was weeks ago.
Nigga, that was
Listen,
weeks ago.
that's pretty much all the topics that we have for tonight. They're telling us we're running out of time. They want to kick us off.
Son of a bitch.
So,
We trigger those sponsors.
You guys got any final thoughts about anything we had tonight?
Free Karrion
I got
Kross.
something to say.
4 letters, 1 word.
Yeet. Follow Kayfabe Avenue on all streaming platforms. We're on YouTube, anywhere you listen to your podcast, all at Kayfabe Avenue. And you know what? We could just take this home.
Right, we're gonna take this home because we about to be back on your ass. Yeah.